I think it's no surprise that I'm a pretty big Mega Man fan, and I find myself always going back to it and always playing an entry every now and then. And one of the important aspects of it is, well, probably one of the main aspects of Mega Man is the powers you get, the ways you are able to kind of change how you play, and more importantly, how good are they and how valuable they are in the games they're in. Now, if you look at this, there's a lot of powers. And in fact, you'll see some that a lot of people may not know, or some of the later ones, which a lot of people don't really know how to rank. But we're going to be ranking them in how they kind of make you feel as a player, and also what game, like how good they are in the game. So there's a few that kind of trade over into multiple games, like for example, Mega Buster, and a few other ones like Rush Jet technically appears in multiple iterations, but this list is separated really well. Whoever made it is fantastic on Tier List Maker, but I do love that you can get the name. You can also, if you know it really well, you can kind of tell even what game, like what console it's on, which is really cool. I do love these images. Honestly, I was thinking of doing one myself, but I can't beat this. So we're going to talk about the use. We're going to start all the way back in Mega Man 1. We're going to go. I'll be honest, I'm not really going to mention the game it's in, like as I go, because unless it's very prominent for the game. But we have the Mega Buster, which appears in 1, 2, and 3 proper. You'll notice that it's not listed anywhere else, so we're ranking it for 3 different games. We'll get into 4 and 5 and the differences there. But for the most part, this is 1, 2, and 3, and they do have a different structure. One, I do think is when it's at its weakest. Two is probably when it's at its like most neutral, and three is when it's at its best. If you don't know, Mega Man 3 has a lot of problems with slowdown, and the Mega Buster you can use to manipulate the slowdown a lot, and at the same time, it does a great amount of damage. Not as in, oh, it does a huge amount, but it does standard damage throughout the entire game, which is relatively rare. Because of the way Mega Man 3 started incorporating immunities and started incorporating just certain boss fights that can stop certain projectiles, it really became the standard to do damage. And so I can't help but put it in A. Yes, technically, I don't think it's that great in 1. Uh, but then again, 1 itself is a problem and not a good Mega Man game. So, when it comes to it, the original Mega Buster is always going to be high regard here. We go to Rolling Cutter. This is usually people's first ability. When I was younger, I actually went for Bomb Man, which we'll talk about. This one grows on you. I don't think is like the end all be all. It's not in C, which is just kind of like standard. It can do the job, get the weaknesses, call it out. Rolling Cutter has some interesting applications in the actual game itself. And in Powered Up, I do think it has a special thing. I actually don't know if Powered Up has its own it has the new stuff, but it does not have the old stuff. So I will be counting Powered Up here as well. Um, in Powered Up, I do think it's better, so it kind of leans towards a higher B than it would, but it's not in general that great of an ability. We would see a bunch better options even in the same game, which goes into Super Arm. I'm gonna be brutally honest. This is a very situational item that, while it has some cool shit with it, like cloning blocks, it's still a very weak and overall problematic power to even have in the game because as the player, what are you gonna do with it? Like throw a block, cool. Ice Slasher is just for freezing stuff. I actually think it's pretty standard. It does have some cool applications in Mega Man 1 being a broken game, and Powered Up being, it would probably be a little bit better, but overall it's just standard. Hyper Bomb, I still think, while this is situational as hell, I think Hyper Bomb is one of the worst power ups in the series proper. In fact, I'm very tempted to make an F tier and put it there, but it's not. It's still usable, and you can use it as Gutsman's weakness, and it does have some really weird applications in other areas. But my God, is Hyper Bomb bad? It's probably, I we'll get to some of the later ones that are bad, but I think even based on Mega Man 1 standards, it's miserable. Super Arm is just super, like, situational. This one's just bad. Firestorm, I happen to think is uh, probably right under Mega Buster. See, the thing with, like, no, we're going to put it above and in S tier. So Firestorm, and we'll talk about the Thunder Beam along with the Magnet Beam, because these are three very prominent things. If you know Mega Man 1, you know why. But Firestorm is not only busted, being the first shield power up in the history proper, but at the same time, it throws out a pretty strong projectile. One of the rules you kind of figure out as you get better at Mega Man 1 is that Thunder Beam is great and all, especially in speedrunning, but you're not going to use it as much. You want to avoid it because it slows down the game. So Firestorm is always your favorite. This is one of the best like power-ups in the series proper. Does great damage, has great protective needs, deals with clone really well if you're not very confident in other stuff. And Thunder Beam is right here as a really good power. It's probably the best offensive power in the game. Three different directions, does a lot of damage, is your best bet against the Yellow Devil, which is a pretty brutal boss, but overall is definitely a standout power. And then you go to Magnet Beam, which is an item you collect, and it's just probably the best power in Mega Man history. The only thing that really sucks about Mega Man 1's Magnet Beam is that it's required, which is really annoying, but at the same time, it happens to be the best. Not only can you do zips with it, which, ignoring that being a glitch and stuff, it allows you to bypass some of the hardest parts of Mega Man 1. And even if, like, you're saying, oh, that eliminates the challenge, Mega Man 1 is brutally annoying with its difficulty. It's not brutally hard. You're not going to be, like, ripping your hair out, or at least in my opinion, you won't. But it definitely is, like, a gut check repeatedly throughout the game, and Magnet Beam allows you to completely circumvent that. So I do think it's actually the best power in Mega Man 1, which goes into, just in general, Mega Man 2. We're gonna talk about, I don't like how this is organized, by the way, but we'll talk about Metal Blade, which, if you know, you know, this is probably the best power in Mega Man history, just in general. The only reason I'm actually not going to put it above Firestorm here is because there are some flat out immunities to it, and it doesn't have any. There, like, the eight directions is amazing, and the insta kills on a lot of shit in the game is awesome, but there's some immunities, and just overall, it's not always going to be your go-to. It's not going to be, some levels you're just not going to use it, which is fine. Like, it's still S tier, but it's not as great. Item 2, which would become Rush Jet. Again, maneuverability is super important in these levels. It allows you to completely ignore the block section in Heatman stage and just completely move on from a lot of other sections. It allows you to do some cool stuff in the worst level in Mega Man history, in Purple Hell, and overall it's just a standout in just maneuverability, which goes in item 3, which is a lot more circumstantial, but it's still usable. It's hard to kind of learn how this works, because it's easy to be like, oh, it's a crawling platform, except it's a little weird. Item 3 I do think is good, but not as great. Air Shooter I think is actually A tier. Now, it's a really weird arc because it goes up in like a hook-like fashion, with you being the bottom of the hook, and then it goes straight up, which is a very odd projectile, but it does have an interesting case of being one of the few, like, insane, like, altitude gaining projectiles that actually does hit immediately in front of you. So you aren't just, like, screwed if you're using it in a melee fashion, which if you are fighting, like, Quickman, for instance, you could use it in a melee-like fashion and get a lot of damage out of it. It also does well against some really odd enemies throughout the game, and I could definitely see this being your third to fourth power used. Bubble Lead, I mean, it's useful against the final boss. It has a ground-like crawl pattern, but overall it's just kind of standard, doesn't do anything. Quick Boomerang, if Metal Blade wasn't broken and, like, the best in this thing, this would probably be up there. The only thing that would actually hold it back here, and why I'm not going to put it higher, It's actually questionable whether it's better than air shooter now that I look at it. Is that it's pretty limited in range. It does do really good against a lot of the bigger enemies, but overall, the melee distance weakness is a big problem. We have Crash Bomber, which I think is kind of just standard. It's a lot better of an explosive than Hyper Bomb could ever be. Uh, but it also you don't get that many shots with it, and while it's insanely powerful, and if we're talking like Wily Wars, it would probably be up here. It definitely isn't like inherently that like usable as a standard weapon. I mean, you're gonna use it in the Boo Boom fight in Purple Hell, and then you're gonna maybe use it once for a proper weakness, and even then, like Metal Blade covers that. I am gonna move it up to B because I do think kind of breaking those blocks to get bonus health, bonus E tanks, bonus anything is really valuable in the game, but it's definitely on the weaker end of B. Time Stopper, if you're a speedrunner, this is actually a really good thing, but at the same time, as a kind of like casual, it's not great. I think it's almost too circumstantial at times to really put up there, but it does help you deal with, especially if you're casual, deal with Quickman. If you're a speedrunner, it's not a big problem because you've learned the game, but a casual player, Quickman is bullshit. And it's very frustrating, and Time Stopper allows you to circumvent that, which just for that, because you fight him twice, we'll give it the bonus. Atomic Fire, incredibly powerful, kind of like a nuke option, but it's also, funnily enough, very circumstantial. Yes, it has its two big moments in the Wily fight and against, Woodman, which is cool and all, but you're not pulling this out all the time. It doesn't do amazing things. In fact, you could argue Bubble Lead is better, which I am going to argue. Yes, it's good for very specific instances, but it's not. It does its job, and that's it. Leaf Shield is the first kind of shield mechanic we get. It happens to be one of the better ones, which is really sad, but it's definitely top of B. I understand a lot of people don't necessarily like it. They don't like shield powers in general, but this one has a very interesting aspect of just being able to kind of shoot it. You can kind of do some weird stuff with it to do a lot of multi-hits. The fact it comes out pretty instant and you can kind of spam it against a lot of tougher enemies is very valuable. And Leaf Shield is probably the best shield one. It's still in B. I could see the argument for Rolling Cutter being better, but I do think while it is situational, it's still a good defensive option. Item 1 is just literally a platform, so like I guess the argument could be made here that it's worse than like Item 2 because you're not like going as far horizontally, but straight up this is just like these two are just taking Magnet Beam and splitting it into two items. That's literally all it is. So I am going to put these here. I think item 1 happens to be better personally because you can have multiple of them. You can have up to 3. But yeah. Next we go into Needle Cannon. Pretty fast. Does decent amount of damage. The only problem is that while you can rapid fire, I don't think this game does a good job of like actually having enemies that kind of take enough damage from Needle Cannon. It's like 3 to 4 for most enemies to kill, which while you're rapid firing is not a big deal, but you're going to be out of energy, so just use normal Mega Buster with like just tapping your finger. You'll figure it out. I'm kind of avoiding these little items because they're very circumstantial. Missile is very situational and it's good. Like don't let C be like, oh, it's standard, it's okay, it's mid. It's just too situational. It isn't as useful in generic happenstances, and the very few times you will use it, it's because you've played the game before. If you're coming to the game for the first time, Magnum Missile is very hard to use. It's very weird. It's janky is the best word for it, and it just, while it's good in a lot of situations, and I could see the argument for low B, it's too janky. Gemini Laser, this lags like hell. It bounces, which is cool, but Mega Man 3 already has like a big issue with just in general lag being irritating. And while it's good against like 2 bosses, I've always felt like this is the worst power in 3 proper. So yeah, Hard Knuckle I think is better than Crash Bomb. It has a very cool feature in that you can blow it up instantly, which is very fun if you know how to time it right. I do think it's the better of it, uh, but that's me personally. And I do think it does better in general in this game because it doesn't like stick and blow up. It's a hit and blow up, which is much more like easy to understand when you first play the game. Topspin's broken, so by technicality, this is one of the best, but it's also broken in that you can just lose energy if you get hit during the animation. Um, if we count it as being as intended, it would probably be literally S tier. But because it's broken in a bad way and broken in a good way, we're gonna balance it out and give it. mm, We'll say under Mega Buster in general. I do think Topspin's really, really good. Search Snake, it's same as Bubble Lead. It's a little better in that it can climb walls, but it's still very circumstantial. I do think it does decent damage, um, which makes me want to put it in B, but I mean, Bubble Lead's literally right there. You have Spark Shock, which is literally a ball. It does some decent damage. It does some decent like after effects, I guess would be the word. But overall, it's not like fantastic for what you're gonna end up using it for. I'm very mixed here. I kind of want to put it in C, but B is also right there, and I put Time Stopper there. I do think it's better than Time Stopper. Shadow Blade is literally this version of Metal Blade. Nerfed, of course, because Mega Man 2 has problems with balances, and Mega Man 3 sets out to fix them. And I do think it's probably with Topspin as the best. I could see the argument for A here, top of A, and I am gonna put it there. I think it's just too good. The fact that it's been that Metal Blade was nerfed and it didn't completely kill the power is proving how powerful Metal Blade is. And the only reason, straight up, Metal Blade is not at the top is because these are 3 maneuver abilities, and in its own game, there's several others that do great. So it's like the competition's way more fierce, and it's not gonna like if it was gone, you have other options. Uh, this is DOS, which we'll talk about. But let's get into maneuverability. Of course, Rush Jet has been nerfed to the ground. It's still pretty good in Mega Man 3, like honestly, but at the same time, it's not like as fantastic as it was. I do think it's still like a mainstay and everybody's gonna use it, but I think I'm gonna put it here. Rush Marine literally is like it's useful like twice, but this is like the most circumstantial like maneuverability option. In fact, I could see the argument for bottom of C. Like, yes, it's not bad, but it's just like there even some of the spots it wants you to use it, you could skip it. So cool. Rush Coil, I love this one a lot. It's kind of the replacement for one, but it's like a super boosted jump, which is cool. I do think it's kind of B though. It's used everywhere, which kind of makes me want to put it at the top of here. So we'll do this. We'll talk about a later Rush Coil. Where is it? I'm making sure it's here. Yeah, here it is. This one's fucking weird. We'll talk about that. We have the DOS game, which if you've never played is like really awkward because these are they have to be used, but like they don't work properly as you would think. Force Field is the best one, in quote, in that like you're gonna use it in very strange situations. Nuclear Detonator, I'm pretty sure is like made to be unusable, but it's required for the game. And Sonic Wave is cool, but it's same with Nuclear Detonator. I do think it's better than these merely because the game requires it, and there are certain like spots. It's a lot like a strategy game, is Mega Man DOS, as I put it. You're not using these to break the game as you would with these powers. You're not using it to use a terrible power as a challenge. You're literally using it for this one little like section, and then you move back to the Buster. Just whatever. Carry, which is back into the Game Boy, if you don't know. This is a very interesting power because it's a lot like Item 1, but it's neutered in a way that puts it a lot lower. I would actually put it at the top of B. It's kind of the same with Rush Coil. This is required to beat the game, unlike Rush Coil, which you can kind of rush jet your way to victory. Um, but overall, it's really good. Maneuverability is very important. Mirror Buster is super super cool. Uh, I love this weapon. I've always wished it had a better offering than what we got, because just the reflection aspect is very cool. That you could do a lot with this. I do think it's very busted too, but the point you get is the point you get in the game actually leaves a lot to be desired, which is a problem. Um, we have the new Mega Buster, which is the Charge. Now, I do want to point this out real quick. The Super Mega Buster, you end up getting at a different point. Like, I understand it's showing this, but the Super Mega Buster is different than what is actually being shown here. Because it's a bonus like item thing. Uh, so I will talk about it indifferently, but it's showcasing this as the Mega Man 5 Buster, which is not. It's the upgrade, so technically it's wrong. But we're going to talk about the Mega Buster here proper, which is going to be 4, and then we'll talk about this as 5 and 6 technically, because yeah, it's good. This is legit one of the best weapons you can use in Mega Man 4. That's it. Like, it's just better. Like, what you want me to say? That it doesn't do great? In fact, you can go through the entire game just using it. There you go. It's literally one of the best things. It's not, but it's definitely like one of the best things you're gonna end up using. It's generally just good. There you go. You're welcome. Balloon. It's literally one again. You have to collect it. I do think it's probably up here. It's a little slower, so I guess we'll put it lower. Wire, I think this is very gimmicky, but it does ridiculous amount of damage really fast, surprisingly. I guess it's not as general use as the Mega Buster. And then we have the new Rush Jet, which is actually a lot better than Mega Man 3's at times, and then worse. Like, it's very circumstantial where it's better. Next we go into Flash Stopper, which I do think is better than Time Stopper, but not by much. I do like it, but one, there's a lot of weird immunities to it, and two, while like Time Stopper is like, of course, very gimmicky and circumstantial, Flash Stopper does damage, and so you can like use it more, but generally you kind of avoid using it because it, it it's used much more like a super weakness versus like a normal weakness. Rain Flush, I actually don't like this at all. I think it's very circumstantial. It's really good, which is cool and all, but we'll probably just put it under Magnum. We'll put it above. It's better than all of these. We'll put it at C, like top C. Drill Bomb, I think it's worse than Hard Knuckle, but it's definitely better than Crash Bomb. Crash Bomber, sorry, we have to say this specifically. Pharaoh Shot is super, super powerful. Not only can you kind of do like a weird jumping attack with it that's really cool, you could shoot it very, very powerfully in front of you. Sorry, the sentence I was making was not working. I probably put it at bottom A. The only thing is that it doesn't have a lot of energy, so maybe B, and we'll put it bottom A. Ring Boomerang, I think this weapon actually sucks. Like, it has really, really too many immunities to be generally good. It's very circumstantial. Dust Crusher is actually underrated in my opinion. It's definitely not like an end-all be-all. It's definitely better than Spark Shock. But it's definitely like surprisingly useful. Dive Missile, which I wish was a little faster, and then I think it'd be like amazing. But it's just top of B. We have Skull Barrier, which is just the worst Leaf Shield. It's still incredibly powerful. Yeah, we'll put it there. So this is something in the second Game Boy game. It's required, so technically we put it here. And the problem is that it's not like that good. Like, yeah, it's required, and there's stuff you can do, but it's very much like Atomic Fire, where it's just, yeah, cool. I'd probably play it bottom, honestly. Probably better than Gemini Laser. We have the DOS 3, which, if you've never played these, very interesting. Big Cannon is actually kind of wacky in that it does really, really random amounts of damage. I'd probably put it pretty high. Um, there are times where it doesn't work though. We'll put it here, under Dust Crusher. We have the Blade Launcher, which looks like it would be the most broken thing in the world, but funnily enough, DOS 3 has this amazing quality of ruining your dreams. Oil Stream, which cool. I do think its projectile is just very lame in general. It's just circumstantial. I'd actually probably argue a little bit lower, probably under. No, we'll put it there. I like this one. I like Spark, or not Spark, Shark Boomerang. I just read Spark somewhere. There's so many words here. Shark Boomerang. I honestly like it a lot more in Rolling Cutter, personally, which is funny. I understand DOS in general is a worse game, but yeah, Water Shooter's so fucking lame. I hate I get it. It's honestly so fucking lame. I get it. It's super usable, and it's actually like maybe I should put it higher, but fuck that. Torch Armor is pretty lame as well. Probably just here. No, we'll put it with Oil Stream. It's the same thing. Sorry for the cough. Alright, we're finally out of the hell. Alright, this is without doubt the most broken damage thing in the entire series. We're specifically talking about the Mega Man 5 Mega Buster and how it charges. It's too strong. You don't need powers in Mega Man 5. You just don't. The Buster is broken in every conceivable way. Like, I get it. These allow you to bypass so many different things and do great things. Like, I still think Magnet Beam is probably the strongest power in existence. But I'm just gonna argue it's straight up the best power. Like, it's your standard gun, and I get it. It's supposed to represent the item boost that you get, where it's like a quicker charge, but you lose it on flinch. But we're talking about Mega Man 5 Mega Buster. It's just way too fucking powerful. It makes Mega Man 5 a breeze. Super Arrow, incredibly useful actually. Way better than 3, which I don't know where I put. Yeah, right here. Way better than that. Does decent damage. A lot like Wire, but you could use it on walls. Um, I'd probably argue it's more usable, but Jet in general is just Jet. Beat is cool. I do like Beat. It's a little like Friend and Pal, which kind of became a common factor. It does decent amount of damage to a lot of stuff, and does great amount of damage to a ridiculous amount of enemies. But you do have to unlock it pretty late. Probably with Super Arrow on. Oh, that makes a nice little L. We're not doing that. It's definitely better than the Wire. I'm probably gonna put it here. Yeah, we can have a nice floor going. Rush Coil. This one, I get it. It's required. Rush Coil fucking sucks in 5. If you have tried to like speedrun any Mega Man game and you go to 5, you just instantly hate Rush Coil. You instantly hate it. It's very much like Magnum Missile. Yes, incredible power. Yes, usable in so many different instances. But man, is it janky as hell. Gravity Hold, I think this is the most busted version of this. Very circumstantial, but it's still very, very busted. I think it's better than Dive Missile. Water Wave, definitely one of the better water things. If you've looked, we've actually put water pretty low, or water ice, whatever you want to call it. But this is definitely way more usable. It is pretty powerful, and you can do some weird shit with it. I'd probably kind of put it above Air Shooter. Probably, but yeah, I could definitely see above Quick Boomerang. We have Power Stone, which I get is trying to be a better shield, and yes, it's technically better than the Skull one, but it's still pretty weak. I'll probably play under Dust Crusher here. Gyro Attack, it has an interesting attack pattern, but it's very hard to get used to. It does have low energy cost to a certain degree, so it can do great damage against general enemies, but that's basically it. It's not fantastic. Probably right there. Star Crash. Hey, another shield, guys. This one is a lot more usable, in my opinion. You kind of have a freedom of emotion. I said that weird, didn't? A freedom of motion that the other shields don't have. So I kind of want to put it as the best one that is in Leaf Shield. But it could stay right here. Charge kick. This is busted. If as soon as you figure out how this is used, like you get it, you get it. This is one of the most busted. I think I'd probably argue it's top of A. I think Shadow Blade. You could generally use this well. It might be an S, like I could see the argument, but I'm gonna put it here. Napalm Bomb. I do like that it's actually a bomb instead of the other like explosives besides Hyper Bomb. We don't talk about you, but it's not great. It is quick though, a lot quicker. We'll put Flash Stopper, probably better. We'll put under Mirror Buster. I hate Crystal Eye. I understand there's like ways of using this that are insanely broken, but I have a hard time using it in general. But it's good. If I were to put my honest opinion, it'd probably be top of C. But like I'm thinking about it in comparison to what I've put in C, and I'm gonna have to put in B. Way better than Power Stone. I realize I really needed another tier, but we're not making it. I would have to reorganize. We're already like 20 something minutes in. Probably better than Flat. No, this is way too high. Well, better than Leaf Shield. Screw Crusher. I do like this one. I'm thinking. I guess I'm gonna put it pretty high. Like, I feel like it's very circumstantial in comparison to like Crystal Eye, which has generally some decent use. But at the same time, I do think it's. No, I'm gonna put it lower. Yeah, I'm gonna put it lower. Under Dust Crusher seems fair. This is just fun. I like it a lot. Mega Arm is pretty good where it's introduced. Technically, this is not. Did they separate it? Oh, it's not even here. Okay. Mega Arm. I guess top B. Putting everything in B, I see. Probably Hard Knuckle. Better than Hard Knuckle. Now we get into like the really weird stuff that I don't like. The problem with the Game Boy games specifically is that a lot of the shit you use is just not interesting. Like it's not interesting. It's like based on other shit. I do think this one's probably the cooler like water stuff. Like it's usable, has decent damage, and it has a lot more like usability than the like Bubble Lead in general. But it's still like not great. It's probably better than Spark Shot. I've realized Spark Shot has become the pseudo like cutoff to like low B. Tango, actually very fun. Not that usable though. Probably put it here. Better than Power Stone. Spark Shot, this thing sucks. I get it. Some people like it, and don't get me wrong. There's some cool shit you can do, but it's like a random direction thing, and it pisses me the fuck off. Probably better than Search Snake, but yeah. This one's okay. It's actually very circumstantial. I'm gonna put it above Magnet Missile. It's also very janky. I think it's probably the worst of this. Yeah, we'll do that. Bubble Bomb, of the bombs, it's pretty good. Yeah, where's my bomb section? I probably put it above Drill Bomb, honestly. Photon Missile is... Actually, it's probably right there, too. Damn, I didn't realize. Electric Shock, fuck this. But, like, it's so boring. It's good, but it's just so boring. Probably better than Tango in that game. Black Hole is broken as hell. It's like one of the best things you could be doing with your time. Probably under tops. We'll say above Topspin. And then this is okay. It's like a much more usable version of the Super Arm, but still not like amazing. It's very circumstantial actually. We'll probably put it right there above Rain Flush. This is also very circumstantial. It has a lot more use, though. Probably in the mix. Alright, now we're almost done with the NES games. Well, we're done with Game Boy, I think, right? Yeah, we are. We're almost there. Mega Man 6 Buster is actually the worst Mega Buster in the game. It's generally still good in the game, in the series, in my opinion. Um, that's not true. Mega Man 7 exists. What the fuck am I saying? But I probably put it here. I do think even the regular one is kind of better in 6 proper, but whatever. The jet adapter, I think it's just maneuverability put into like a second jump. If you like rush coil, like straight up, it's just better rush coil. Which is the combo put together here? It's not? Okay. That's good, because if I had to. Power adapter, I think, is very fun. It's like a melee. It's like, I think I've talked about it. It's like quick boomerang, which I think is just good. You could charge it up for more damage. I think this maneuverability on jet adapter is really insane, though. I guess it is much more limited in some cases. I do think charge kick is insane. Yay, guess what, guys? You'll never believe what I found. I think this is one of the worst ones, too. I don't think it's as usable in... it's not a shield, but it tries to do this weird shield thing into a split shot. It doesn't do enough damage for what it's trying to do. I definitely under Dust Crusher, which has the same, like, shot mentality. Under Time Stopper. How about no? This one's super circumstantial. Probably above Gemini. Flame Blast, super weird. We talked about Water Wave, right? Where did I end up putting that? Because this would be like two... Yeah, like Water Wave... Like, can you tell the difference here? I hope you can, just by the picture alone. It's usable. I'd probably play under Bubble, and now that I look at it. Nightcrawler, I like this one. It's very hard to use, so I kind of... It's a lot like Ring Boomerang, actually, now that I think of it. Plant Barrier. Hey, guys, you know the shield? Hey, guess what? This is the worst fucking one. I know I say that with every shield, because they get worse and worse over time. I do think Plant Barrier just sucks. I think it's really, really bad. Probably right there. I'm very tempted to play lower, but it's fine. Silver Tomahawk. This goes in a very weird arc. It's a lot like the air shooter, which kind of gives it points in weirdness. But the problem is the game itself doesn't have a lot of... It does have jumping like normal, but not as much as, say, Mega Man 2, where you would get some really like weird shit where you could just air shooter and do great. This one kind of doesn't. It's very circumstantial. We'll put it here. Above Rain Flush. Windstorm, very cool looking thing. By that, I mean it looks nothing like a windstorm. And it's very circumstantial. Does really good damage, though, so I kind of want to put it higher. But it definitely beats out Bubble Lead. But it's literally the same thing. I think I would put it here. Yeah. This one's cool. It's just like a needle shot. It's a little stronger, so it's definitely higher. But it's literally needle cannon. Okay, now we get into a bunch of different shit. And guess what? Another fucking shield. Anyway, this one is one of the better free shots. It does really good damage, and you can do some wacky shit in the game with it. So we're definitely going to put it up there. We have the Super Adapter, which is just, in general, insane. Like, what do you want me to say here? Like, it's bad? No, not even close. Like, in its own game, it's definitely up there as one of the best things you could be doing. I guess the limitation of it is that, like, you can't do certain things. Cool. Like, in general, it's just really good. Also, it has... A lot of the enemies have a weakness to it. Hey, guess what? Junk Shield. We want to talk about it? It's actually better than Plant Barrier, in my opinion. Based on the game you're in, anyway. I'd probably straight up put it above Skull Barrier. It's better, but... Danger App. Very interesting that they made this work as, like, usable. Because we've talked about some really weird arcs. I talked about, like, Air Shooter earlier and how in the game it's in is actually very valuable. But something like, where is it? Like the Silver Tomahawk doesn't. It doesn't work the same way. And Danger App actually does insane shit in the game it's in. In fact, you could probably put it pretty high I'm probably gonna put it pretty high up. Not better than Rush Coil. Yeah, we'll put it there. It does good. We have Thunderbolt, which actually is pretty cool looking. There's a bit of a fun thing you could do with it if you get really good at the game, but hey, I do think it's probably here. It's probably next to this. Uh, See, the problem with Wild Coil itself is that it's not a bad power, but it's very circumstantial. And that, I guess in its own game, it's good. So I am going to put it higher than I would probably like. I think Slash Cause is incredibly stupid. Like, a lot of people would tell you it's insanely broken or put it insanely high, but there's some times where this thing is just awful to use. Probably right here. If we're being brutally honest, probably deserves to be higher. Don't Crush. I actually really like this ability. It's just good. That's basically it. If I put Freeze there, I probably would put it here. Scorch Wheel, another shield, but way more interesting and actually a lot like the old Firestorm. And yes, I did scroll up to remember the name because I just remember as the fire shot in Mega Man 1. Kind of want... It's a lot like Charge Kick where maneuverability becomes like a priority, but it's very, very nerfed in that. Probably better than Item 3. Nah, we'll give it a lot. It's better than Freeze. Yeah, we'll do that. Oh, yay. Woo. It's super circumstantial. Like, cool. Cool. Yes, there's actually more you can do with it, but cool. It's super circumstantial. It's a lot like Rush Marine. It's better than Rush Marine, but come on. Atomic Fire. Are we gonna count this? I mean, technically, it's... Am I really gonna sit here and argue that it belongs in C tier? Like, yeah, it's technically... Yeah, fuck it. No, right there. No, like, sure. Sure, you could be next to the weird one. Arrow Shot. Now, this is a not upgrade in the same, like, vein as, like, what we've been talking about. It's a lot like the Mega Man 5 Buster that I mentioned, but we kind of cheated. Arrow Shot is incredibly busted. This is, like, the best thing you could be doing with your time for a general shot. It legit becomes super powerful if you just use it. I don't think it's ever going to replace like these because you don't get this unlocked until you get enough screws. So, Flash Bomb, super power. Let's get this like straight. Mega Man 8's fucking powers are insane in comparison to other things. Flash Bomb is powerful as hell. There's some immunities to it, so we're actually gonna put it like right there. Water Balloon's like one of the weaker ones and still incredible, which is just insane to think about. Like, it's one of the weaker ones and still in the top of B, which I'm trying to think. It's probably better. Where did I move this? Oh, shit. Was that here? That might have been there. What? I don't remember my arguments. It's been a while. Wherever I moved that from. Rush Bike sucks. It's very circumstantial. It does have, like, one usable moment, technically, but you don't need it for it, so cool. Actually, you know what? I'm going to put in D. It's 1. Rush Questions, also very circumstantial. Rush Bomber, I do think has some use. It's much more circumstantial, but circumstantial, whatever I'm slurring. Better Night Slasher. Charger, unless you do heal, I think I literally argued Rush Question, so it's like a better Rush Question. But Laser Shot. I think if Arrow Shot didn't exist, this would be your go-to, but it's still like pretty weak. It's just a better Mega Buster, but it requires unlocking it with screws, so I don't know, we'll put it under item 3. Mega Ball. Most busted fucking thing in the world. I get a lot of people don't understand how busted this is, but it allows you to do multiple jumps. You could do some really weird shit with it. Like, it's glitchy as hell. I understand it's intended to be like a certain level of glitchiness, but man, it's whack. It has weird ricochet. You can do some weird shit where you kind of just hop on top of the head of an enemy and time it well, and you just insta kill it. Like, you can insta kill some really long bosses in this game just using a soccer ball. Insane. Um, Tornado hold busted as hell. I've told you, Mega Man 8 is busted. Like, I think it's honestly better than Firestorm. And then my dog decides to... The Astro Crush, insane. Like, this is just a nuke on the field, and you could do it 3 times. And then if you get a little bit of energy, a 4th time. I do think it's weaker because it's very not as generally used, but hey, nuke whatever on the screen. Probably actually right there. Scar, stop it. You were fine. You're just... I hate when my dogs do that. Flame Sword is strong. It's a nice melee weapon. But I think it's better than a lot of stuff. It's definitely better than Water Balloon's too high now that I look at it. Probably better than Crystal Eye is way too high. Man, there's so many fucking powers. It's definitely better than Slash Claw to a certain degree. Like, you have better range. You can do a jump attack that's like really... You can do some really weird cancels with Flame Sword, which is fun. Thunderclaw. This thing is busted. A lot of people would look at it and be like, why? What is it? It's just a really quick shot, which is cool, but it doesn't do a great amount of damage. And that's where you're using it wrong. If you actually aim properly and have the drag back hit, you're doing insane amount of damage. It also has really cool maneuverability options. And also it's not an energy user. Like, you're not going to sit there and be using dozen upon dozen of energy sections for Thunderclaw. I actually really like it. I'm gonna reorganize that one when we get down to it. Homing Sniper, the lock-on takes too long for it to be good if I stutter more. But hey, I still stand by it. Has its usable moments. I don't think it's as great as a general use weapon, which is why it's here, but it still has its moments. Definitely one of the better one. Ice Wave, it's just one of the better versions. I do think there's some crazy shit you can do with this. Like, the fact it doesn't disappear on hit, which is better than half the fucking powers that do this. So it's like a better Water Wave. It's I'm just gonna put it above Water Wave. I'm not gonna organize that. I'm sorry. Like, I don't know enough about Power Fighters and like the weird shit. Actually, where's the other one I put? Because, like, I do know it, but I just don't. So I'm not going to sit here and argue it. I mean, it's not as good as the Mega Buster. I don't think it was ever designed to be. But it's your general weapon, right? So it has to be okay, at least. I think it's better than Topspin. Cool. Magic Card, I do think is... pretty entertaining. Probably better than Mirror Buster. I'm looking at. I don't know what attracted me to it, but there you go. Eddie Call is... Wait. Oh, Eddie the Bombs. I forgot this was a thing. Circumstantial, like super circumstantial, like I'm starting to think I need to put some of these lower. Beat Barrier is broken. This is one of the best shields in the game, and you could just break the game entirely with it. Only problem is maneuverability with it. I guess we'll put it in top of B. I was thinking it was much more broken than it is, just off face value. But then I'm trying to remember the game itself. Probably better than Napalm Bomb. Treble Boost. Oh, that was weird. It was like hooked on something else. Yeah, probably bottom of A. It's good. I should probably put this higher, but like straight up, I don't think it's that great. Better. Yeah, we're putting it better than Topspin. Okay, here we go. There's so much shit here, man. Like, I still have so much to go through. Um, Tengu Blade, I think, is actually insane. Only problem is it's not, like, generally useful. We'll put it there. Copy Vision is really cool. I love how this is used. It also allows you to break some damage thresholds that I think are very valuable. Definitely better than Power Adapter. Um, Lightning Bolt is cool. It's a lot like Astro Crush is how I would relate this to, but a neutered version, but still very, very powerful. A lot like Pharaoh Shot too, and how I feel about it. Um, Ice Wall, funny as hell, but like it's kind. I guess it would be top of B. I guess that's how I would put it. It's funny as hell. The spread drill is hilarious as well. I honestly love all these powers. They're fun. Remote mine is the lamest one. It's just like very circumstantial. It does technically allow you to do the most damage at one time in the game. Personal, like you can. Personally, it's probably the most I've done. It's a lot like homing sniper. I'd probably argue that. Wave burner. I love how this one looks. It's so cool. Um, Generally, though, I guess we could stack them together. I didn't think I would. Oh man, there's so many of these. Ugh. All right. I don't know enough about this version. Like, this is the Wonder Swan stuff, right? Or around that. It's not like Rockman and Forte. It's not like the actual like original version, but it's like the pseudo like mobile, right? I don't know enough about it. I played it maybe once, so we're gonna skip it. I'm skipping this and I'm skipping these. I don't think it's fair. Oil Slider is one of the most busted things in creation. Not only does it allow you to speedrun like a god, but it's just hilarious and fun. And if Magnet Beam gets to be up here, no, literally it's like a better Magnet. And that's not true. It is limited by ground. Yeah, we'll put it there. I mean, it's a better version than a lot of stuff, but it's very limited in the game. Like, you think it would just be super busted, and it is. It's a lot like Gravity Hold. It's limited. This is just normal Mega. The reason it just says Mega is because, like, you don't have the robot stuff. Um, it's powerful. You use it the whole time in a playthrough. Like, it's not bad, but it's definitely, like, you're doing it for the challenge. Roll is broken. Roll is one of the strongest things in creation. Uh, yeah, definitely better than freaking Metal Blade. Proto Man. I mean, he's powerful and has some defensive stuff, but I guess the defense is cool. Probably put it with Base Buster. Probably under it too by a good margin. Now we're getting into. I will be the first to admit I am not a fan of 9 and 10. Um, but I do think there is some cool stuff. Let's talk about the Proto Buster. It's just generic Buster. Proto Man is a little different than Mega Man in general. I do think it's harder, not as good, and I am going to put it at the bottom of the Fae. But let's get into probably the one cool thing I think happened. Concrete Shot. I think this is, at face value, not good. But I think as you get better with the game, I think this is like Topspin, where it's just, you realize its potential to be stupid. Um, Tornado Blow, which is okay. Kind of better than Mega Arm, how I'm feeling. Laser Trident, very basic. This is always one that I've kind of felt like was phoned in, even though it's still usable. It's a lot like Laser Shot, actually, how I feel it. Plug Ball, I don't I don't run the kind of reboot of Mega Man's. Like, I don't run any of them, so I don't know like any of the really powerful shit. So just on face value and like what I played of it, I think this is super like circumstantial. Like, it's very similar to Windstorm and how I feel. Hey guys, you ready for another shield? Another one? Who's ready for this? I know you are. I do think this is a bad shield though. I think it's better than Plant Barrier. I can't believe I put ring barrier or ring shot that low. Hornet Chaser. I like this a lot. It's fun, but it's a lot like where's the diving missile? It's literally just like that. B is huge. Look at this. Jesus. Better than Bubble Bomb, right? Definitely has to be. We'll put it there. Black Hole is insane, but Magma Bazooka is super cool. Love it. The trifecta shot. I do think Concrete Shot's a little better, but that's me. Black Hole Bomb, insanely powerful. Not as generally used, but hey, it's a lot like I I I honestly wasn't intending on putting these three next to each other. It just happened in how I feel about it. Because it's definitely better than Topspin, but I wouldn't. Okay, I would put this right there, and then Concrete Shot would probably go here, and then there. There. Okay, I fixed it. Triple Blade. It's like super good, but I don't really know where to put it. Like, part of me wants to put it like higher than Rolling Cutter, and then we'll put it high up. Water Shield. Hey guys, another shield. I get it, like different character this time, much more of an excuse, and this one's actually a lot better, funnily enough. Except sometimes it doesn't work, so it's kind of the same as Power Stone. Sometimes it doesn't work. Commando Bomb, pretty insane. The shockwaves are really powerful. Probably one of the better bombs. Honestly, probably top of B. Chill Spike is cool. It's a nerfed version of Ice Wave with like a shot, so it's very similar. I'm gonna go B. Probably better than Tornado Blow. Thunderwolf broken. This thing, I don't know why it's so powerful. Like in the game it's in, it's a lot like Wire, where you don't expect it to be as strong, but it's actually made to be a weapon. Rebound Striker is good. Sorry, I didn't realize how long this would be. I'm kind of just like going through so many different games. It's giving me a bit of a heck. Wheel Cutter is hilariously fun. One of the best. We're gonna reorganize. Uh, hmm. Uh, I'm thinking about Solar Blaze. It's good. Yeah, we'll put it there. Oh my god, we're almost free. I'm very tempted to skip this because all these suck. Like, just use different gears. Honestly. I guess Pile Driver is insane. Pile Driver is really insane. Where's Charge Kick? It's literally the same idea. Done worse. Yeah, we'll put it there. Nothing will ever beat Pile Driver. I mean, Acid Barrier is actually a good barrier for once. A lot like Beat Barrier, but way better. I would probably put it pretty high up, actually. Now that I think of it. Ice Wall is hilarious. I fucking love Ice Wall. Thunder Scramble, I don't think is actually that good. Very circumstantial. Realize that we haven't gone back into D tier in a while. Thunderstorm is a lot like Astro Crush in this regard. Not as good as Astro Crush merely because of the game it's in and how it's limited by screens, but it's a lot like Lightning Bolt in how I feel. Block Dropper is really cool as an idea. Nothing too inherently powerful though. It does a lot of damage, but it's not going to be your go-to. I like Gravity Hold, I guess. Scramble Thunder. Probably pretty low, actually. Probably a lot like how I feel about Wild Coil. This one's cool and all, but I think it's actually very circumstantial to me. We'll put it under Commando Bomb. Blazing Torch is cool. More fire. Awesome. I do think it's better than Scorch Wheel. And then Bounce Ball. This is really lame. I get it. It's good. But I'm just going to put it with... it's better than that. I can't put it down there. You know, it's literally the better version of this. All right, so I'm gonna ignore these two. I get it. Like, ooh, it's not a complete list, but fuck, man, look at this. All right, we need to organize this. What am I doing here? Uh, Honestly, I kind of agree with this. Actually, you know what? Yeah, wheel cutter's insane. We're putting this way higher. It's a lot like tornado hold in how I feel. I'm gonna put Shadow Blade up. Yeah, and I think that's fair. Yeah, I could definitely see this. Most of this I agree with. If I sat down and played everything right in a row, of course my opinions would be different. But some of these are I just don't use that often, so I don't remember. I'm surprised though that C, while C is very circumstantial, it matches A in how many like, yeah, it has a few more, but it matches A in like amount, and it's just mostly B. Like most of it's good, which is I thought there would be a lot more stinkers in general, but I mean, and honestly, we could argue like a lot more stuff is in D, but I do think it has a lot of circumstantial use. Technically, Sonic Wave should be there, but whatever. We've talked about it enough. This is in general just how kind of usable, how good it is in the game that it's in. It's really hard to kind of pair up like how Firestorm reacts in comparison to like Thunderclaw, for instance, because Firestorm does a different thing than Thunderclaw could ever hope to do. But yeah, that's a huge list. I'm done. Holy shit.